Man, do you have a second home in Cleveland?
It feels like I'm living here.
I know.
I feel like I have a residency here and Boston. I feel like we've been in those two cities the most this season, but things will start to change up a little bit. I know we go to OKC. We have a trip to Houston coming up. So we're spreading our roots a little bit, Theodore.
Okay, but what fan base might be a little tougher on you between Cleveland and Boston?
Both are good.
Oh, no problem.
No problem either way. No problem. The only fan base that raises an eyebrow is we know where. Is what? Is the Knicks. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only place. Everywhere else I go, open arms. How you doing?
Chicago's okay?
Chicago's great. I haven't been to Chicago because they've been so bad. We haven't been to Chicago in like 5 years, even when I was with the other network. It's been a while since we've been to Chicago.
Well, Chicago always beats you, so they probably.
Hey, no need to dread. Where are we going with you?
I just was looking at, you did damage to the Knicks, and they never forget. And then Spike Lee is always there. But you and Spike are good.
We are very good.
But it took a while.
And look, even the Knicks team, all the players, I feel I'm good with. I respect. It's the fan base. It's the fans that have an issue.
All right. I've been talking about Wembanyama today. Probably too much. But he's 22.
Yes.
He was asked about being an MVP candidate. He talked about defense, which to me felt like, hey, Joker doesn't play defense the way I do. He talked about scoring. He doesn't score like Luka does. But then Wemby said, but scoring is more than just, offensive end is more than just scoring.
Correct.
And then he talked about head-to-head with OKC and SGA, and he said, we beat him 3 times.
4 times.
Well, he said 3 times with their full lineup.
Yes, he's beat them. Yes.
Okay, tell me.
He is correct. No lies told.
But tell me why he won't win the MVP.
Because the guy who probably will win it, SGA, will probably end up having the best record once again in the NBA, second in scoring. And he is, as though he's not as impactful defensively as Wemby, SGA does play defense. He is a two-way player. He's in the top 10 in steals. He's just out there scoring 30 points a game. So I think having the best record will give him the advantage. But I love everything about Victor Wembanyama. He's reinvented how we approach the game, the All-Star game, and he made those guys play hard. He should get a nod for that as well. But I also want to say this too. We've got to see them in the playoffs. I mean, you got to win a playoff series. I want to see a playoff series. I know the guy that will probably win the MVP and was finals MVP. Okay, I love what the Spurs are doing. We're on a collision course, right? And he's putting it out there. He is saying this before the playoffs too. He's subtly calling out names. Hey, I dominated y'all's champs. Hey, Jokic, you're a 3-time MVP. I play both ends. And I can score with you guys too. So he's putting the Spurs on notice, but I want to see him win a playoff series. Let's slow our roll a little bit.
Okay. But so that means he can't win the MVP this year because it's taken for the regular season. The votes are taken there. You want to see him in the postseason. Therefore, next year, if there's success this year, then he sets himself up to be MVP.
Absolutely. I think. And again, you know what? He could win MVP this year. Don't get me wrong, because there is, 3 weeks left in the season. I think we have some teams have 10 to 12 games left. And what the Spurs have done, everyone thought, especially the way the Thunder started the season, 24-1, that they were going to run away with the season. They've made the champs have to work. And think about all the injuries to OKC this year. And they are currently in a 12-game winning streak right now, but they've needed every one of those 12 wins. Why? Because the Spurs are breathing down their neck, only 3 games behind. So I give the Spurs so much credit. of putting pressure on the champs. But having said all that, I got to see how this young team and how Wemby and how Castle and how Dylan Harper, I want to see these guys in a playoff series. They will steamroll in the first round. Now we have a collision course with the Lakers. Are you going with Luka and the experience with LeBron and AR and the Lakers and DeAndre Ayton, who's been to the finals before? Or, again, the Spurs, they steamrolled the Lakers this year as well. I want to see that second round matchup. And then if they're able to get by the Lakers and OKC handles their business on the other side of the bracket, then it's the matchup we have all been waiting for.
Okay, but if the Spurs end up with the best record in the West,
votes will already be in, I think. They will have to catch them like by next week.
Yeah.
I think votes will be in because I have a feeling it will go down to the last game of the year if they catch them, right? Because they're 3 ahead with 10 to play.
Yeah.
I don't see OKC going in the tank with 10 games to go. So if they catch them, it would be like the last game of the year. I believe the votes for MVP and all the awards will be in. He's certainly going to win Defensive Player of the Year. You could almost make a case he won't, being Most Improved Player of the Year as well. And yes, he's in line to me. I mean, and you know what? We're not talking about Jokic too. I mean, he's averaging a triple-double as a center. And again, I know people will kind of want to look at him cross-eyed because of the no defense or whatever. The dude's averaging a triple-double as a center.
Oh, Joker's in a different category.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just don't want people to.
No, we take him for granted now.
We are. And you know what? We're taking SGA a little bit for granted as well because the new kid on the block is showing us the 22-year-old. So, and you know what? I think a lot of these people that actually vote for the MVP, they could have, fatigue, SGA fatigue, Joker fatigue, and just, want to spice things up and go with Wemby. Let me preface this. I am 100% in Victor's camp. What he has done, he is a breath of fresh air. Thank you for saving the All-Star game and making guys play hard. I get it. But I want to see come playoff time too now. I like the talking now because he's calling people by names subtly, but he's calling people by names.
What changed? I know the Lakers lost last night, but it felt like they figured something out. We've talked about LeBron's role in this, but and Luka getting like a late push for MVP as well. DeAndre Ayton, I think, recently came out and said, I kind of figured out what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Green, roll, get big, hands ready, lob, dunk. How simple is that, DeAndre? Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think roles have been defined, starting with arguably the best player over the last, 23 years in LeBron James. He knew he was going to have to take a backseat and be the third option, which it sounds so weird to say because I don't think you can go back maybe to when he was 10. I doubt even when he was 10, he was the third option on an AAU team ever. And he's accepted that role. I mean, case in point last night, he didn't even score in the first half in that Detroit game. He ended up with 12 points. And I think he has accepted being the third fiddle behind Luka, behind AR. And again, we talked about this last week. I'm going to give, he didn't play last night, but Marcus Smart and what he's done defensively on that team, he's been a huge anchor in terms of being able defensively to put the Lakers in a position where they are so competitive at that end of the floor and clean up a lot of mistakes sometimes that happen from other players. So I think roles have been defined. Guys are playing within their abilities. And I think that's why the Lakers have won 9 out of 10 games.
Talking to Reggie Miller. He'll be on the call. It's the Cavaliers against Paolo Banchero and the Magic. Isn't there some trouble going on with Paolo Banchero and coaching staff there in Orlando?
Look, there's been reports of him and head coach Jamal Mosley kind of having words with one another. And again, it's been a long season. Before this 5-game losing streak, they had won 7 games in a row. And I think there's been a lot of miscommunication defensively for Orlando because that was their calling card the last 2 years, if you think about it. They were so good defensively, and they go out and they make the huge trade for Desmond Bane to bring in some offensive punch because they needed shooting around Franz Wagner, again, who's been injured all season because of a bad ankle. Look, this team has been hurt. Wagner hasn't been back. Powell's been in and out of the lineups, and they're battling right now. They're currently 8th, but they're only a game and a half out of being 5th. So, yeah, I think there's some miscommunication between head coach Jamal Mosley and Paolo, but this is a scary team if they can get things right, if they can get Franz Wagner back healthy and whole. Desmond Bane has been playing great as of late. Suggs has been hurt a little bit. Suggs has been hurt a little bit. So there's some injuries for Orlando that they need to kind of get healthy and whole first as they head into the playoffs.
The freshmen in college basketball, you got 4 or 5 guys that feel like they're going right to the end, like maybe tank worthy.
Yeah.
But the biggest difference in what with Debansa and A-Cup and Peterson, like that Boozer, the difference of, okay, that's college to the NBA, what changes right as you get into the league?
The speed of the game. I'll put it to you like this. In college, you feel like it's a 400-meter race. You get out the gates kind of quick, and you have your moments, but it's a challenging race. In the NBA, it's a 200-meter, 100-meter race every single game. And in college basketball, you may be going against a 5-star, 1 or 2 5-star, 4-star players every game. In the NBA, everyone won in high school and college and was a 5-star athlete. And the size of the guys, you forget how tall and long the NBA players are versus college. So it's a sprint. It's much more physical. And to me, this draft class has all of that. Caleb Wilson from who didn't even play down the stretch for North Carolina, has the length and the size to be a great NBA prospect. You talked about AJ Peterson. From everything I've seen in Kansas and from his workouts, can score the basketball with the best of them. Darius Acuff, the guard from Arkansas. I would love to see him in an NBA type setting. So it's going to be an interesting draft, and where some of these teams, like my beloved Pacers, Sacramento, Brooklyn, Washington, like who gets that top pick? Utah. It's going to be interesting to see where some of these players fall.
If you're Brooklyn, why wouldn't you bring in Mac McClung?
Why not? I mean,
like, nobody cares about the Nets. Nobody's going to the games. At least you get a guy who's torching the G League, and at least he's entertaining to watch.
Not only entertaining, but what, a 3 or 4 time dunk champion? There's name recognition to that. And again, when you're playing in the shadow of the Knicks, why not have a guy with like, wait, isn't Matt McClung? Didn't he win the dunk? I remember some of those dunks. Hey, I mean, he can sell tickets for you. To me, I think it would be a no-brainer. You're in the tank anyways. You're losing every single game. Why not take a flyer and give this young kid an opportunity to get some NBA minutes?
But is he that bad of a defensive player?
Well, if you're scoring 42 in the G League, he must be doing something right?
I don't understand that, okay, you're really bad at defense, but you're really good at offense.
Well, there was a guy that Doc Rivers just cut, in Cam Thomas.
I know.
Who was instant offense. He was instant offense when he was with Brooklyn. Maybe they think it's the same type of project, but Cam had different issues, Cam Thomas. I don't know why you just wouldn't bring in Matt McClung and give him a shot and give him minutes.
Who's the fastest guy you ever saw in the NBA?
Oh, there's a host of them. Rocket Rod Foster, who I played with at UCLA, had a small stint in the NBA. Wow.
Was Iverson quicker than he was faster?
Probably. No, but AI was pretty fast as well from coast to coast. AI would Muggsy Bogues. He would put pressure on you too at that small frame from coast to coast with the basketball.
Jay Kidd?
Very fast, yes. Jay Kidd. And he's taller, 6'4", 6'3", 6'4".
I'd be curious. You guys don't run the 40.
No, this is not like the NFL combine where the 40 matters. No, we don't. I think they do now, maybe.
Well, the 40 doesn't matter. You're more likely to run 40 in the NBA than you are in the NFL.
Yes, you are. Yes. Ours is in the NBA. It's more obviously, quick movement. How efficient can you get from spot A to spot B? And there's so much more backpedaling, side to side. I mean, there's so many things in the NBA that are totally different from baseball, football, and some of these other sports.
Next time I have the commissioner on, I got to tell him it's time to bring the red, white, and blue ball to the NBA. It's about entertainment. It looks great.
Won't happen.
Why?
Yeah, because that was part of the gimmick of the ABA. That's what made
you took the 3-point shot from the ABA.
I know, but that's what made it special. That there is no way they will bring back. It would be great.
Okay, how about 1 week when you go into a old ABA city?
Oh, that would be nice. So that would be San Antonio, obviously Indiana, Denver. I believe that
the Nets.
Yeah, well, they were the New Jersey Nets then, right? Was that the?
They were New York.
Maybe the Nets. Okay.
Maybe you have ABA week.
You have them on. You ask them about that, because then your next question is going to be, because I've been hearing this being floated out about a 4-point play. What's your thoughts on a 4-point shot?
No. I don't want more people taking deeper shots. I'd get rid of the line. I'd love to have 1 week where you don't have the 3-point line. How about that?
Well, you're talking to a guy who lived behind the 3-point line. I'm not on board maybe with that one.
All right. But would you be okay with the ABA ball?
I would love the ABA ball, just because I have, again, being an adopted Hoosier, and we know what the ABA Pacers meant for the state and the city of Indiana. Mel Daniels, Roger Brown, Bob Nedelecki, they would be very proud of this conversation right now and love it.
All right. Play nice in Cleveland. Thanks.
I will.
Thanks
I'll
for
try.
That's Reggie Aloysius-Miller Jr. III. He'll be on the call with Noah Eagle tonight. That's 8 Eastern on NBC and Peacock.